So Marty Supreme was amazing. Now this was directed by Josh Safdie, who had previously directed Heaven Knows What, Uncut Gems, and one of my favorite movies of all time, Good Time. In fact, I made a longer video about my thoughts on Good Time, so if you're interested, then definitely go see that. He directed those movies alongside his brother Benny Safdie, who interestingly enough directed The Smashing Machine, which came out earlier this year, which I also made a video on, so if you're interested, then you can go see that. Now, although I wasn't big on The Smashing Machine, I absolutely love this movie and feels a lot more fitting with their themes and styles. Now, the first thing about this movie is that Timothée Chalamet was absolutely incredible in it. There's so many mannerisms that he's able to bring to this character, and the character writing in this movie is just so incredible to me. It's very similar tone to a lot of other Safdie brothers as characters, and it's just portrayed so incredibly well. There's a certain level of narcissistic ego presented throughout this character, and Timothée Chalamet knows how to portray this character so well. Kevin O'Leary was a great choice to this movie, and he was a lot of fun and fit his character very well. Not to mention the makeup on Kevin O'Leary was also pretty well done. There are certain scenes and sequences throughout this movie which require Timothée Chalamet's character to go through a certain level of emotional humiliation and abuse, and they're so incredibly impactful given that his character and how he's established and what he wants to achieve. The Safdies are such incredible experts at crafting incredibly anxiety-inducing experiences, which this movie definitely is. There's a very intense shootout scene in this movie that genuinely made me gasp and kind of jump out of my seat a bit, which is something I cannot say for the vast majority of action sequences throughout movies. The story in this movie is absolutely incredible. You have no idea where it's going, it never slows down, and the 2.5 hour long runtime does not feel unjustified at all. The narrative to this movie also has a lot of moving parts that are incredibly chaotic in nature. The score to this movie is also something very interesting. It's very similar tone to their other movies, and that's interesting because given the time period of this movie, which takes place on paper, you would not expect to fit at all, but it just somehow works. The score and soundtrack to this movie is very chaotic and synthy and kind of 80s based, and it just works so well for these sequences throughout the film. No, I absolutely love this movie, and I would definitely recommend people go out to see it, and this one gets a very strong 9 out of 10.